All right, thanks everybody for joining us. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. We're going to let everybody else who's joining take a few minutes to join. So if you can just hang tight and we'll get started in just a few moments.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Be Well, Let's Talk webinar series. Today's topic is financial fitness. My name is Darwin Blanc, and I'm a citywide wellness coordinator for WorkWell NYC.
And my name is Victoria Good, Special Assistant to the Director.
Please keep in mind that each person's financial situation is unique. The information provided in today's webinar is informational. For more specific information about who you can contact, a list of resources will be provided at the end of the webinar. If you're new to WorkWell NYC or if you've seen us before, we'd like to let you know who we are and what we do. WorkWell NYC is the city's worksite wellness program, and we are here to help you live well and work well. Our goal is to create work sites that make it easier for our employees to live healthy, active lifestyles. Health is not just the absence of disease. Health can be physical, mental, emotional, and financial. Health exists on a spectrum. We're here for you with health and well-being resources, programs, and support to help you move more, eat well, be well, and take action to prevent disease, no matter where you are on your health journey. By the end of the webinar, we want to make sure you have the tools to take charge of your financial health. Today, we are going to discuss how certain initiatives of the CARES Act will affect you, like your stimulus check, mortgage relief, and student loans. We'll also discuss tips and tricks to help you boost your financial fitness, resources and tools that are available for free to City of New York employees. While we are not financial experts and are unable to answer specific questions, we would like to encourage everyone to send their questions to us at workwell@olr.nyc.gov to help us shape our future financial fitness webinars. Throughout this webinar, we will refer you to programs with financial experts where necessary. Before we get started, let's talk about our anti-stigma campaign. Let's talk. Approximately 1 in 5 New Yorkers experience a mental health challenge each year. The City of New York employs over 380,000 people, which means as many as 75,000 employees may experience a mental health disorder this year. The Let's Talk campaign is WorkWell NYC's initiative to eliminate mental health stigma in the workforce by creating supportive workplaces and building resilience in our city's employees. It's always tough to have conversations around finances and money. However, health is holistic, and when we experience stress, it can affect our physical health as well as our mental health. Stress can lower our immune response, and during this pandemic, we can use all the help keeping our immune system strong. According to a new survey from the National Endowment for Financial Education, the COVID-19 pandemic is causing 9 in 10 Americans to feel anxious about money. A Gallup poll cited that 48% of Americans are worried that they will experience financial hardship due to disruptions from the pandemic. Some of the most frequent money stressors have been not having enough in emergency savings, job security, income fluctuations, paying rent or mortgage, and paying utilities. Other concerns that ranked were paying down debt or credit card debt, having saved enough for retirement, and paying healthcare bills. During this difficult and uncertain time, WorkWell NYC wants to help city employees stay strong and informed during COVID-19 and beyond. So let's talk about what changes are happening and learn together how we can improve our financial fitness. So we mentioned the CARES Act before, but what does that mean? The CARES Act stands for the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. It was signed into law on March 27th, 2020 in response to the coronavirus pandemic. It is a $2 trillion coronavirus economic stimulus bill. There are many different types of relief in this act, but we will focus on what is important for individuals and families to know. Here are some things to highlight about the CARES Act that we will go into more detail about. First, if you haven't already filed your taxes, you will now have until January 15th to do so. There are also relief packages within the CARES Act for federal student loans, federally held mortgages, and renters' protections. And lastly, the economic impact payment, or as you might know it, the stimulus check. If your student loan is federally held, the CARES Act provides an automatic suspension of principal and interest payments through September 30th. Any payment you make after March 13th will be applied directly to your principal. If you are financially able to keep making payments, you will be making payments toward your principal, which can help you pay down your debt quicker and reduce how much interest will capitalize. Bonus. Did you know that WorkWell NYC hosted a webinar on public service loan forgiveness? You can check out our Got Loans webinar to learn how you can leverage your city job to pay back your student loans. The CARES Act put protection in place for homeowners with federally backed mortgages. If you can't pay your mortgage or can only pay a portion, make sure to reach out to your servicer immediately. Even if you don't have a federally backed mortgage, there may still be options available to you. Always make sure to contact your servicer first. You may have heard about the economic impact payments as the stimulus checks. According to the IRS, if you qualify for a stimulus payment through the CARES Act, the amount you will receive is based on your most recently filed tax return. If you have already filed your taxes for the 2019 year as of March 27th, then it would be based on that amount. If not, your 2018 taxes would be used. For those receiving Social Security, no action will be needed on your part. Based on the IRS website, each qualifying adult will receive an amount of $600 to $1,200, plus $500 for each qualifying child. Married couples filing joint returns will qualify for $1,200 to $2,400 plus $500 per qualifying child. The amount you are eligible for is based on your adjusted gross income. Tax filers with an AGI of up to $75,000 for individuals, single or married filing separately, and up to $150,000 for married couples filing joint returns will receive the full payment. For filers with income above those amounts, the payment is reduced by $5 for each $100 earned above the $75,000 or $150,000 threshold, up to $99,000 or $198,000 respectively. Single filers with income exceeding $99,000 and joint filers with income exceeding $198,000 with no children will not be eligible for the payment. A qualifying child is under the age of 17 at the end of the taxable year and is claimed as a dependent on your most recent tax return. You can also find relevant information regarding the economic impact payments on the New York State tax page.
Here are our best budgeting basics to help you manage your money during COVID-19 and beyond. Step 1, prioritize your bills. Necessities like housing, food, and your health should always top the list. Second are utilities, credit cards, and other loans. And your savings and other non-necessities will always come last. Step 2, pay your bills. Once you have paid for the necessities like your housing, your food, and your health needs, then you can start to understand how much money is left over. Remember that if you need to, you should reach out to your utility providers to see if they can provide relief or to see if you qualify for delayed payments or financial hardship. Do the same with your loans, credit cards, or other outstanding payments. If you have money left over after paying the bills, it is advisable to make a plan with the remainder. Do you need to build an emergency fund, contribute to retirement, or another long-term savings account? The city has many different options if you aren't already enrolled in a long-term plan. You can enroll in the New York City Employee IRA Plan, or NICE IRA, with options for both traditional and Roth IRAs. We'll also talk a little bit more about the deferred compensation plans and the New York City employee retirement systems in our resource section. And finally, the money left over is yours to decide what to do with. Step 3, do your best to keep your credit score stable. After you've prioritized your bills, prioritize your credit score by continuing to pay bills that would otherwise go to collection, making the minimum payments and paying on time every time. Remember to check first if you qualify for delayed payments or financial hardship. Your credit score can fall fast and it takes a long time to build back up. The best way to protect your credit score is to stay in contact with your lenders or collectors and let them know that COVID-19 is the reason for your hardship. If you are experiencing financial hardship, it is important to protect your credit score now so that if you need to apply for loans later down the road, your credit score won't hurt your chance to get a better loan. And step 4, now it's time to build your emergency fund. Emergency funds can be many different things, but they often account for 3 months to 1 year worth of expenses saved in a quick-to-access account. Some of the expenses to consider while you're doing the math to figure out how much to save in your emergency fund are rent or mortgage, utilities, food, health necessities, and other necessities. If you are able to, you can also increase your emergency fund savings by including what you would normally contribute to a retirement account or long-term savings accounts. However, this is just extra. Focus first on saving up only what you need.
Next, let's talk about some tips and tricks that can give your finances an edge. Enrolling in direct deposit is the best way to ensure that you get your money quickly. It's easy to enroll and secure to do so. As a city employee, you can enroll at the NICAP ESS DOE payroll portal or by contacting your HR office. If you have a health savings account or HSA, you can use that account to pay for any medical related necessities. Now is the time to ensure that money doesn't go left unnoticed. Things you can purchase with this account include menstrual care products, over-the-counter medicines and drugs without the need for a prescription. However, please keep in mind that for over-the-counter medication, a letter of medical necessity from the participant's medical provider is still required if you're using your HSA. For more information about HSAs and modification, you can visit the New York City Health Benefits Plan website. If you have any credit card debt, loans, or payment plans that you cannot make full payments on due to COVID-19, make sure to reach out to your creditors or servicers immediately. When you call them, tell them that COVID-19 is the reason for your call and inability to make a payment. Whatever happens, make sure you do your best to avoid late payments, as they can have a lasting impact on your credit score. Beware of scammers. Scammers look for opportunities to take advantage of the vulnerable, especially during times of emergencies or natural disasters. Be cautious of emails, texts, or social media posts that may be selling fake products or giving information about emerging coronavirus news. And always make sure to report anything that you think is fake or raises your suspicion.
Now let's talk about the resources that can help city employees take charge of their financial future. First, we'd like to acknowledge that financial insecurity can often bring about food insecurity. If you or others you know are experiencing food insecurity for any reason, there is assistance available to you. There are over 400 DOE meal hubs around the city. You can pick up meals at any one of these hubs from 7:30 to 1:30 p.m., Monday through Friday. Visit the DOE Meal Hubs website to find a location near you. There's also meal delivery available for the elderly, vulnerable, and immunocompromised. If you or anyone you know qualifies, encourage them to use the service to protect themselves. Also, NYC HRA is providing emergency access to SNAP and cash benefits for those who qualify. Please visit their website or call the Emergency Food Hotline to find out how to access these benefits should you need them. There are plenty of other resources for information about where to get your food in New York City as well. Food maps are a great way to know where food is available before you leave your home. And did you know City Harvest Mobile Markets distribute fresh produce to all 5 boroughs? You can visit their website to learn more. If you're interested in the food maps, visit the Food Pantries and Community Kitchens website for their map. And if you're interested in learning more about specific neighborhoods and resources available to those neighborhoods, please visit the New York City Food Policy page for their coronavirus food resource guides made specifically for each neighborhood in all 5 boroughs. If you are a healthcare provider, transit employee, or first responder, or any other essential employee, you are eligible for a free 30-day City Bike membership. You can get the benefit by signing up through your employer. The Department of Consumer Affairs is home to the New York City Financial Empowerment Centers. The Financial Empowerment Centers provide free one-on-one professional financial counseling and coaching to support you in reaching your financial goals. You can use their website to book a free financial counseling appointment today. Please note that you will need to make a Financial Empowerment Portal account first, and that all sessions will be conducted over the phone. New York City Deferred Compensation has a few updates from the CARES Act that may affect you if you are a participant in the Deferred Compensation Program. Participants can request that their loan repayments to their 457 plan or 401k plan be suspended through July 15th, 2020, which is the same as the tax filing deadline. Also, please note that contributions to either of these plans made before July 15th, 2020 will be considered contributed in the prior taxable year. If you need to contact deferred compensation or submit any forms or inquiries, you can reach out to them using their email address or by visiting their webpage listed here. DCP also manages the flexible spending accounts. If you have questions or need to submit any forms, the two web pages to do so are linked on these slides, which will also be sent to you after the webinar. As we mentioned earlier, the New York City Employee Retirement System, or NYCERS, is a defined benefit retirement plan available to city employees. If you aren't already signed up for a plan, you can call them Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to learn how to enroll. Due to COVID-19 concerns, please do not send them any physical documents at this time. The New York City Employee Assistance Program provides free and confidential support for employees, families, and other work-related support. They can help with stress and refer you to other programs or resources that may help address the root cause of any existing stressors. You can reach them via phone, email, or their website. Right now, EAP has extended hours with COVID. You can make an appointment with them at any time between 8 a.m. and 11 p.m., Monday through Friday. Also, another resource, if you or someone you know is experiencing stress, is New York City Well. You can reach out to New York City Well at any time, 24/7. They are a free and confidential service to offer mental health support to all New Yorkers. New York City Well has also compiled a list of apps that are available to use for free during COVID-19 that may help you to cope. Also, please note, New York City Well is a language accessible service. Please call them for interpretation services available in over 200 languages, or you can use their text and live chat service, which is available in English, Spanish, and Chinese. The Mayor's Office to End Domestic and Gender-Based Violence, or NYC-END-GBV, collaborates with city employees and city agencies, community stakeholders, to ensure access to inclusive services for survivors of domestic and gender-based violence. If you or someone you know needs help during this time, you can contact END-GBV confidentially using their online form linked here. And one of our last resources is New York City 311. We all know New York City 311. 311 is an invaluable resource to give us all the information we need in one place. This applies to COVID-19 related updates too. If you need to know how your day-to-day life may be affected by COVID-related policies, you can contact NYC 311 by calling 311 on a local New York City phone and listening to the menu, or you can visit the 311 portal by visiting portal.311.nyc.gov. And before you go, we want to let you know how you can get involved with other WorkWell NYC programs throughout the month of June. June is Men's Health Month, and Men's Health Week is June 15th to 19th. You can join us each day of the week for new events like Virtual Boot Camp on Monday, June 15th with Darwin, Men's Health Matters webinar on June 16th, Men's Mental Health Roundtable discussion on June 17th, and Power Up with Protein live Q&A on June 18th. You can also join us for the Move NYC Digital 5K. Since the onset of this global pandemic, we've been inspired by the critical work of city employees and frontline heroes to keep our communities moving. While current circumstances may prevent us from convening in person, we are committed to moving together. Whether you're a walker, runner, or roller, we welcome you to join us for a week-long 5-kilometer challenge. Visit nyc.gov/movenyc webpage for more information. Registration opens on June 1st. Lastly, now more than ever, Our mental health and emotional health are essential parts of being healthy. During the COVID-19 pandemic, many of us are overwhelmed with loss, uncertainty, loneliness, and anxiety on a daily basis. WorkWell NYC wants you to know that you are not alone. The mission of our Let's Talk campaign is to eliminate mental health stigma in the City of New York workforce by creating supportive workplaces and building resilience in employees. Let's Talk aims to do this by promoting education, awareness, and knowledge about mental health in the workplace, changing the culture around mental health in the workplace, and empowering employees to take up calls to action to seek resources and offer support to each other. Even though we are approaching the end of Mental Health Awareness Month, you can still pledge your support to the mission of Let's Talk and to ending the stigma. Demonstrate your support for the mission of Let's Talk by signing our pledge. We'll keep the link in our email sent to you after this webinar. You can also share information about the campaign and mental health resources with your coworkers. And lastly, you can attend our next Let's Talk webinar for men's mental health, which will be on June 17th, as I previously mentioned. By pledging your support to the campaign, you are committing to work together to end stigma and encourage conversations about emotional health and wellness in the workplace. We hope the information that we collected here is useful for you. There are many things that New Yorkers can do to remain strong, and supporting their financial health is one of them. Let's stay strong together. We would love to get your feedback and hear your thoughts. Please complete the survey linked to let us know. You will also receive an email with the slides and resources discussed today, so keep an eye out for all of those resources coming soon to your inbox. If you haven't already, now is a great time to sign up for our mailing list. You'll be the first to know what WorkWell NYC is up to, as well as what events and classes are available this summer. Thank you again for joining us, and have a great weekend.